Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today it's with me, Midweek Magic, and it's right after the big update. So if you haven't checked the update now's a good time to do so. There are a lot of things have changed. Basically, we now have new starter decks. I'll probably look into those. I might actually wait for Innistrad to come around, but I might do a first look on them by myself. But most likely, I might actually start updating when the first Innistrad comes out. That said, we are going to explore Standard 2022, and this does look familiar. Yes, I played this deck in the Strixhaven only festival event at the time, and I decided to update it. And it's mostly blue-red at this point, but most of the updates are basically to add dragons, lots of dragons. So, Dragon Package, 2 copies of Galazet, 3 copies of Goldspan Dragon, one Imrit, 1 Old Gnawbone, 2 Inferno Star Mounts. The Inferno probably could be a one-off and maybe just have a 4th Goldspan Dragon. I probably don't have that yet. So this is probably one way to win. The other primary way of winning is hitting our opponent with a large Crackle power or getting a big advantage with the big Magma Opus. That said, our primary way of getting there is treasures, Magda, Prosperous Innkeeper, Prismari Command. We have a few interesting additional few add-ons, like a few copies of Decisive Denial, single Quandrix Command. Sometimes this is relevant. Battle of Frost and Fire. Most of the there are a lot of smaller decks, so having a board wipe is relevant, even if it kills Galazet and Goldspan Dragon. I also have a few copies of Dragon's Fire, and that's pretty much all that there is to it. As far as the mana base goes, I think it's primarily centered around red with the red and blue. The green is more of a splash. That said, Temple of the Dragon Queen actually does wonders. Most of the time, you're not playing a 1-drop anyway, so ETB tap is not a big deal. And the time that you have to reveal a dragon, you're probably gonna play it anyway. So we're gonna do a few games with this one. I've taken some quick testing here. So we got a quick turn 2 Magna or Magnum Opus into a Dragon's Fire. We probably want to draw a dragon into this. Also probably want to get the multicolor spread. The primary is double red. We have a lot of it. So we got a Vine Glimmer Snarl. Okay, so I might lead into this one. We'll see if our opponent has removal. If not, we can just swing with Magda, play the Snarl. Okay, this is likely to have removal. Fireblade Charger. Oh, this is probably the Awakened this is probably the Awakened deck. So we are a little bit behind on if that's the case. So this is the Awaken the Blood Avatar deck. I'm willing to trade at this point because it's gonna trade with almost anything anyway. Also, if we can keep some of these creatures down, our opponent needs at least 3 creatures to get out Awaken the Blood Avatar. So if we can keep the number down, we're good. So I'm gonna hold back the Dragon's Fire for now. We may need to hold back the Magma Opus also, since we're kind of flooding anyway. We are not in a rush. Alain Reclusive Painter, so we will snipe that. So hoping to hit it. Well, actually hitting a dragon now might not be the best thing to happen. Then again, we may have to cycle the Magma Opus after all. Not exactly the best draw. I would have liked to see a bigger drop. Yeah, this is definitely... Yep. Oh, it's Orcus. Okay. X equals 0. Yeah, that's actually the other way to do it, I suppose. So we probably do cycle this. Because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because we need at least 8 mana if we want to hit 2 targets. So we're better off cycling this now. Hit another Magda, not exactly the best hit. So 5, we're taking 7. That might be too much. So we're gonna just fire. This is so inefficient. It's a real feels bad. But it should keep us alive a little bit longer. At least until our opponent does drop Awaken the Blood Avatar, in which case we lose Magda. Kalane again. Our opponent can still cast Awaken the Blood Avatar here. No, they're just going for Exodus. Which is still bad. So not blocking because we need to be the one to get the treasure, not let our opponent have it. Also, it's gonna miss at this rate. Yeah, but we're probably gonna lose this one, so not an auspicious inaugural. We're going down to 10, and our opponent might have more. So get X1, return up to 1, they gain haste. Yeah, that's good enough. We can call it right there. So what happened? Well, we did not have a dragon body to hold things off. The deck is basically mid-range, so we have to play it as such. But you did see a lot of the small creatures, so the Battle of Frost and Fire is a very good fit. One can make an argument for like Cinderclasm as well. You want to be able to. That is actually a good consideration for Standard 2022. I'm actually surprised I didn't see a lot of mono green decks. My opinion was that that was gonna be what I was gonna be facing off most of the time. Opponent. Oh, it's the same opponent again. So at least we have the Prismari commands, but we might be a bit slow out of the gate at this rate. Opponent goes Shambling Gas into Fireblade Charger. We have a decisive. We'll see if our opponent goes for the big sacrifice. They usually don't while they still have a reason to drop all the bodies. So if they swing first, I get to snipe one body with a Prismari command. Opponent goes Showdown, so let's see what they hit. Because I could have countered that, but okay, it's just all 1-drops and an Orcus. The Orcus is probably the bigger threat here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can play Galazet Prismari, then hold up Decisive Denial. That sounds like a plan. Also, this is instant speed fight. Not too relevant, but it's there. We'll take the hit. Opponent gets a treasure. We can kind of crackle. X equals 7. Also, our opponent can drop one of these, but not both. Well, it really depends what they have on hand. So they're dropping another Eye Twitch. Do they have another? No, they don't. So that's actually good for us. Probably don't need. We don't really need double green unless we. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cycle this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not much of a difference. Yeah, that's actually the correct hold up. It gives us the option to cycle. So opponent will have to give up one card to buff the other one, I suppose. Yeah, I was gonna say they were missing double black, but they did have treasure anyway. So there's the necrotic fumes. Let's see if he has any more follow-ups. Shambling gas. So that makes it a 3/3. So I might consider holding up the Magma Opus at this rate. We'll see. We hit a land, not exactly what we want. I could just play Imrit and decide from there. Yeah, we can play Imrit for now. The problem is if our opponent has awakened the Blood Avatar, that's when we lose. No, Goldspan Dragon, so we go down to 2. If our opponent swings, that is. We hit an Inferno. Yeah, we're still holding up the Magma Opus. I think our opponent should have gone for the treasure token. That kind of does nothing. I wasn't gonna attack anyway. Now, if our opponent has removal, that's really bad. Well, we're kind of close to death anyway, so I can't complain too much. Like our plan is literally just Magma Opus at this point. Awaken the Blood Avatar. Yeah, I figured they would have that. So X equals 2, then I'm forced to sacrifice, then yeah, that's a good game. The decisive denial would have been great for that one. I could have still held it up actually. So probably a misfire in that one. Now let's see if we can get an opponent that's not this one. There is an argument for like saying putting a Jaspera Sentinel to give us an early defense, but I'm trying to lean the deck more towards red blue rather than green. Mostly for the Prismari commands. So this is not keepable. We're missing red. And we'll see what kind of deck our opponent has, but look, game hasn't been that mana hasn't been that friendly to us recently. I could cut the decisive denials and just add lands, I guess. It's also a good argument for, say, adding foretell cards because the mana doesn't matter. Yeah, I probably could. Yeah, we're kind of doomed that we're kind of doomed if this is the hands that we're gonna keep getting. At least this is a free event. Pondrix Cultivator. Opponent's just gonna ramp to Kingdom Come. If we can't hit another red source, we might as well concede. Yeah, opponent. I did consider porting the origin. I did consider porting the original deck altogether. Algren's Epiphany. Oh well, we did have a use for it, I guess. If we can only hit a... I only have 2 of these pathways. Unbelievable. The good news is that the Battle of Frost and Fire is just expressive iteration. Well, I'm not countering that. Unfortunately, most of the threats on the Temur deck are generally creatures. And without a creature of our own, Decisive Denial doesn't do much. The single world tree is there just to smooth out random issues with the mana, but I think in the end I might rather just have, because this is base green, I might rather just have this be another mountain actually. So at this rate, even if we can somehow wipe these guys, we're probably going to end up dying to Crackle with power at this rate. We finally hit it though. And watch our opponent actually have counter spells. Yeah, they have counter magic. Well, it's a delay at least. I actually had a blue-red version of this deck. I had a few divide by zeros. It's fine, but okay. Opponent is Teachings of the Archaic. Draw more cards. We might be taking too much damage at this point. I will have to go for this, but it's definitely way too late. We did not get to play a single. We did not get to play anything. So opponent has another divide by zero. We can concede safely. Yeah, so probably need to. We probably want to lean the deck more towards red. Actually, there is a way we can fix that. And let's see. The Decisive Denial's fine. The Quandrix Command probably not. I might actually just cut that one and give ourselves an additional land. Where's shut? There you go. And I might also end up making adjustments to the Decisive Denial, though I think it's actually quite useful here. I'm also already starting to consider adding. Well, the thing with Jesper's Sentinels that it really combos. It's more suitable for, say, the Magda deck. Okay, this one's very keepable. We can just cycle these two away. We can buy some time with this. I am also already considering Cinderclasm though, because this is also. Is this a control deck? We'll see. Now we have to remember that Soul Shatter exists, so maybe Imrit might not be the best plan. Okay, also our opponent did foretell. Okay. I am willing to just play this one just to Basically, it's to eat removal and make. It's to eat removal and among other things. Opponent is just foretelling, and in these color combinations, I suspect. Okay, that. So I'm suspecting stuff like Poison the Cup. So Imrit might actually be a good fit here. So I'll swing first. We'll see what our opponent has in store for us. I don't like casting it this soon. But our opponent has not dropped a single creature. But yeah, we need to hit more. Yeah, I figured they'd have a Soul Shatter. And now we have a lot. We have a lot of Dragon's Fires for the wrong matchup. And at most, this can only take out a 4-power card. We'll see what our opponent has. Starnheim Unleashed might be a thing. X equals 1. Actually, that's perfect. Still need one more mana or another way to get a treasure at least. Our opponent might have fired this off a bit too early, if you ask me. Well, the second one might be looking better now. Now the odd thing is we do have to fire off one. Actually, you know what? We can wait. Because in the event that we did draw mana, I would rather cast this. And the Scry Tree is going to be very helpful. Also, the opponent knows we have a Goldspan Dragon incoming. They're planning to... Could be another Unleash, or it could also be a Poison the Cup. But we now need to set up for the rest of the play, so... I definitely want all of these. Maybe not the battle... Actually, I think we can keep the battle. So if they do have removal, we will still get the treasure. Vanishing Verse. We won't, because of the way I stack the cards. We won't be able to get. Yeah, I probably should have stacked the crap. Okay, opponent has their own Goldspan Dragon. So we're going to be giving them quite a bit of treasure, which is a concern. Then again, I can't... Well, not 5 or greater, so I'm not getting the benefit of this. But I will give myself another treasure. Yeah, we're going to be giving our opponent a lot of treasure, not in a good way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can technically hit our opponent for 10. We'll see what our opponent's follow-up is. Galamakus Lorehold. So choose a dragon. Well, it doesn't matter, it's still gonna deal 3 anyway. Opponent's going on the Mardu plan for dragons. We're not gonna block this one. In fact, I might be incentivized to just swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I probably should have activated the Crackle power first. If our opponent had removal, it would be a big disaster. Let's see. If this is another Starnheim Unleashed, then our setup would be just perfect. Return to the Tide, so... No, it's a Velomachus Lorehold. Our opponent gets to recast... something. The problem is our opponent's gonna keep recasting stuff, so... So the Brattle of Frost and Fire, not so great. We could swing and maybe our opponent blocks. Opponent goes Journey. You may put any number of land cards from your hand to the battlefield. So our opponent actually whiffed. Okay. Yeah, opponent has to respect this. The problem is our opponent may have yet another Lorehold. Also, the Scry tree is a little bit awkward because we would have drawn already. We could only... We're setting up for this one, but we really need the help next turn. Another Crackle would be nice. Prismari Command. Not so helpful. But we did survive multiple angels. Yeah, Imrit's slightly awkward. Lorehold Command. Oh, Indestructible. Nice. So we can concede there. That was a very good use of Lorehold Command. It's come to the point where I'm actually reconsidering just going back to the blue-red version. Did I delete that deck? I hope I did not. I might want to go back to it already right now. So, Cragtown. This is fine because we have an Innkeeper at least. We can run into Magda Innkeeper as a starter. But we read. So next turn we can play Innkeeper, swing, get a treasure, hold a Prismari Command that way. Alternately, we can swing with Magda. Trying to encourage our opponent to trade right now. If not, we're trying to encourage our opponent to build a very big board. Okay, we got the trade. That's good. Not going for the Innkeeper quite yet. Opponent knows we have a Gallus at Prismari to drop. I'm really thinking we probably should add that fourth Goldspan Dragon. I have enough mythics. Opponent slightly... I wouldn't say slightly stuck. More like thinking quite hard. If our opponent has acquisitions expert to make us discard, I probably would just discard the Prosperous Innkeeper. That said, I will need to decide which is more important between these two. Opponent doesn't have quite a board yet. In fact, okay. Then Vala. If you have a full party, okay, so that's a long way off. I can cast Galazet first and force them to have the removal. Then we can just the thing is Battle Frost and Fire. Battle Frost and Fire not so great with a Linvala around. So I'm actually gonna just fire this off now. Only because it's so awkward. Our opponent could sacrifice in response, but it does help set up our next 3 turns, next 3 draw steps. So I'm okay with that. Squad commander. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. We definitely want. Okay, definitely don't want this anymore. Shatter Skull Smashing is a good option. Imrit also up there. I might hold on to the Smashing first. So we could smash for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So X equals 6. Which is kind of which is pretty much overkill. It does help our next few draws though. Masked Vandal kills the bat. Okay, that's actually fine. I might end up just... Oh, I probably will still cast it. I probably will just nuke the squad commander only. Or you not? Let's just nuke both. And this is super overkill. But if it keeps our opponent off a party, I'm all for it. The next turn we should be able to drop Imrit safely, and we can start redrawing cards, I guess, after that. Opponent drops another Archpriest. Goes into white. Yeah, but without dragons, well, they might have Nadar. Yeah, without dragons, this is not as ideal. Unfortunately, we will have to swing with this, but yeah, opponent concedes there because they know we're about to refill. So that was so we finally got the win on that one. We slightly inefficient with our use of removal, but that's pretty much the matchup we were expecting. Yeah, kind of unfortunate that we had to fire off the Battle of Frost and Fire too early, so it's not a full blowout, but Linvala would blow that out otherwise, so we kind of had no choice there. This is, yeah, very keepable. So turn 2 Bin Magma Opus, turn 3 Galazet's a bit undesirable. I'm cool with this though. We're basically looking for another way of generating treasure. So like, yeah, either Magda or another Innkeeper would be great. But at least we have a plan. So it's turn 2 Bin the Opus. Turn 3, if we have nothing else, we just play Galazet. But this feels quite poor. we will still be praying for lands to hit Battle of Frost and Fire. And we would need even more lands to hit the Inferno of Starmounts after that. If you want to do the regular blue, just this plain blue-red version, you get less treasure, but you do get more card draw. There is a playset of Expressive Iteration there. Werewolf Pack Leader. Well, we got an Innkeeper, so that's a start. We will have to take that hit for now. We know we can nuke it later. But we might... Yeah, our opponent's gonna draw a card in the interim. We could play Galazet just to hinder the Werewolf Pack Leader at least. Though it ends up just trading, it's not so great. What's this? Gains trample. Ugh. My concern is that our opponent could have a Blizzard Brawl, but they are a few snow-covered lands away, so I'm actually okay with this. It helps us regain a life. It then sets up, and while we still need treasure, it does set us up for a Battle of Frost and Fire. Thankfully, mono green. All the giants are in Eldraine. Okay, there's white, but there's again, the giants there are still in Eldraine. Opponent draws 2 cards. That's the bad news. We might as well block. Opponent charges true. Probably has to wait to pump it. In which case, I really want them to pump it now rather than later, because if they do it later, it might get out of range. That's fine. I'm surprised he didn't charge through this one. Oh, this is gonna be so nice. Now, it feels bad to use up the treasure, but kind of have to do it now. Especially since our opponent's actually planning to go really wide. There's another Light Scribe. We need at least one more land. I probably want to keep the other Battle of Frost and Fire. I don't want to keep the base. Yeah, there we go. We'll see also how our opponent pumps, because if our opponent decides to just lair off the Hydra, we can... Well, let's not... It's target first, then reveal. Slightly awkward that we don't get to drop Magma Opus. Also, it looks like our opponent has the Wild Shape, so okay, that's fine. So taking quite a bit of damage there. So I need to decide if I'm gonna get killed or not. Our opponent... Because it's a lot easier for me to just fire this off force, but our opponent just fires that anyway. Yeah, let's just... We'll drop this now. Draw 2, discard the Magma Opus. In theory, probably should be discard the Battle of Frost and Fire. Opponent goes Light Scribe number 2. Now that double stacks, which is a problem. Snakeskin Veil. 4, 5. Okay, that's 5 damage. Blizzard Brawl. Okay. So we take 8. But we get to clear the board. Now, Snakeskin Veil could save one of them, but our opponent used it up already. So we're just waiting. Unfortunately, our opponent just pumps this up, sends it in. So we do need to drop Prosperous Innkeeper as a safety. I don't want these lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're hoping our opponent doesn't have removal in addition to the Lair of the Hydra. So we can drop a safety Imrit. Opponent goes Mavinda. What do they recast? I actually like the Wild Shape tech. It's actually very versatile. It's at worst it's Snakeskin Veil. Okay, so we lose that, but if our opponent decides to activate Lair of the Hydra, we're just taking 1 at worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is tricky. I might have to, because our opponent can just activate this for Snakeskin Veil. It's only once. It's once each turn, so they can even trigger it on themselves. Yeah, best bet is to just drop Imrit and see if we can hit. Okay, we hit another safety Innkeeper, so I'll take that. We lose the treasure, but we gain the treasure. Opponent probably just targets the charge through. Get the free card draw. They already used up the Blizzard Brawl, so yeah, my concern is the Snakeskin Veil. Also tough that we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Our opponent can activate this for 5, which is also a bit of a toughie for us. But we can kind of hold up Magma Opus and just tap down if ever. Also, the nice thing about Mavinda is that Mavinda only gets the spell back for free, more or less. It gets it back for 4, which means they are holding something up. Wild Shape can make it into 3/3 Elephant with Trample. So it makes it a 4/4 Elephant. Oh, nice. Oh wait, oh no, it shrinks it down. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that was close. And no more messing around. 1, 2, 3. That was very close though. We did have an out just in case, but at least the game decided to give us a way to win there. You know what? Let's do one more. So, but we already figured out some of the weaknesses of this one. I'll have to edit the deck list, but I might need to do another edit after this one. Like the decisive denial, probably just cut as much of green blue as possible. Actually, you should also be in the lookout if there are any good green-red spells, but I don't think there are. Yeah, also the Frostboil Snarls are not that great here. Sometimes we do get the option, so we might as well have it. This one, we get to... Ooh. This is super slow. But we do get to pitch Opus if we have to, so I'm all for it. And also, thankfully, our opponent's just as slow. Elder Fang Disciple. Okay, not so good if we have to start discarding cards. So I definitely want to hold on to this. Just gonna see if we can... If our opponent's gonna make us discard even more. Okay, got Decisive Denial as an emergency. Okay, wait. If we're gonna have Decisive Denial as an emergency, we should at least play the green land just in case. Let's see what our opponent's follow-up here is. We can take the hit for now. I'm really curious as to what our opponent's follow-up actually is. Probably a counterspell? We'll see if our opponent has a counterspell. We better make them use it up now, I guess. I don't think they would use it up for something like this though, so... This still doesn't mean anything. Opponent is playing the long game. I would not be surprised if what they did now is just activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. No, they foretold. Okay. So opponent is playing control. So I need to remember that I have the option of actually just pitching these two. Also, it's a good thing we drew the Dragon's Fire now. So if our opponent decides to activate Hive, we can nuke it in the process. Just pitch one, but not fold. Yeah, this is an awkward matchup. Our opponent is doing absolutely nothing. I think if our opponent's just waiting to drop Alrund's Epiphany... Callous Blood Mage. Sure. I'm really concerned what's in their hand now if they're willing to hold up this much. Exile target player's graveyard, sure. This is not a Mizzix Mastery deck. So I'm actually gonna just fire this off now. Crackle with power, but it does incentivize us to pitch the other Magma Opus next, but considering our opponent is just sitting back and holding on to all this stuff, I'm not incentivized to do anything either. This is a 3/3, yeah, so Prismari Command is not going to hit it. Also, what's our opponent holding up so much mana for? Eradicator Valkyrie. Okay. I kind of want to wait on this. You know what? We'll wait even more. I probably should have just cast the first Battle of Frost and Fire at this rate, though. Yeah, it looks like our opponent might just be sitting back. Yeah, let's make them use a counter spell. It'll be really annoying if it turns out this is all counter spells. There's a find the villains there, which probably means they have more. They have another counter. They have one or more counter spell, if not two. So we'll have to just fire these off. I guess what I could have done was hold on to the treasures, so hold on to a decisive denial. But our opponent would have had way too much mana for that. Attack other plane. Okay, draw 2 cards. So our opponent really did settle on control. So our next turn is probably gonna be Galas of Prismari, though. Wow, our opponent is sitting on weight. Kazim Royal Mage, return target instant or sorcery. Return target counter spell. Actually, not too. Yeah, don't mess up. Don't. Oh, good. Our opponent let it go. Which means our opponent probably does have removal for this. Oh yeah, I also tapped it wrong. I forgot this was set to red. So next turn we can get this at 8. Opponent goes for removal, that's fine. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Opponent probably has removal for this too. Thankfully, he's taking it now. Curate. Okay, they're digging. Yeah, it's kind of tough knowing that our opponent has to find the villain's lair up there, so we have to pressure our opponent into getting rid of Inferno. Unfortunately, it isn't that hard. Like 2 shots of Flunk would do it. So I can take our... This hits for 10. Probably would have preferred to have 1 more mana. Unfortunately, I discarded it. Oops. Also knowing that our opponent probably has a way to counter it more than the first one. Opponent goes for Royal Mage. Gonna get Poison the Cup. That makes sense. If they fire it off now, then we can just Battle of Frost and Fire to dig our way to the next one. Also hit an old Gnawbone, but let's save that for later. Unfortunately, our opponent can just counter this, but then again, maybe we do want them. Skull Raid, discard 2. Opponent might have an... Wait a minute. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this... Isn't this the precon? Okay, so we don't actually want any of these. So I might have to actually wait a turn. Which is really bad if our opponent has yet another discard spell. But you know what? We need to make our opponent use up their counter magic. Let's force them to use it. Yeah, it looks... This might actually be the precon if I remember... Oh, opponent did not use the counter magic, which is bad because it means they have actual removal. And ironically, Flunk is good. Oh. Yeah, this is the precon. They have Mind Flayer. And they can actually protect it. Wow. They have a Dragon Fire. Unfortunately, this might be it for us. So actually, not bad if our opponent was able to get that one done. I'm actually gonna have to double check. I'm pretty sure that is the precon. Like all the lands were basic if I'm not... Oh wait. Yeah, like the lands were mostly basic if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, contact other plane villains lair. They drew all 3 copies of Tazim Royal Mage. Okay. Yeah, so this is just the precon. Well, it works. I'm actually gonna be reinvestigating these, but we're gonna save that for another time. I think I want to do one more. That one did not feel satisfying. That one did not feel satisfying at all. But then, yeah, taking a look over the card list, yeah, you start figuring out which... The problem there was that we let our opponent have so much time. Okay, and now we're gonna have a problem where we're gonna give... Ranger class. We're gonna do a turn 2. We'll do a turn 2 Magda. Turn 2 Magda, turn 3 Prismari Command at least. I'm pretty sure our opponent just pumps this one. So... They could also Blizzard Brawl at the same time, which is super annoying, but... Yeah, they got the Blizzard Brawl. So, taking 5 right off the bat. We're gonna have to give our opponent an insect token because we do need to set up the Frost and Fire. No, technically we could have also just discarded the Magma Opus there. The Zandu Mammoth. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that's nice. So we're gonna have to take a lot of damage for this, but if it resets the board, we will. Might incentivize our opponent to actually pay for level 3. Yep. So we got decisive denial if we need to. We got enough lands. I think a burn spell is fine. Yeah, burn spell might be fine. Opponent goes Null Hunter for Pack Tactics into another Null Hunter. We kind of want to save the Shatter Skull Smashing though, so... Oh wait, we can actually. Okay, need to discard the card. Ward 4 is an opponent controls. I might just discard the... No, the Crackle deals 5. Innkeeper buys us some time again. I'm not too sure which one. I might actually discard the Decisive Denial here. Opponent goes Esika's Chariot. No, that's a problem. I can... Well, I have an excuse now. I can now play Prosperous Innkeeper into another Prosperous Innkeeper. And wait for them to activate. Now let's hope... Technically, they might have a Snakeskin Veil which would ruin things, but... Okay, crew. Let's see if they cast anything else. Okay, they're not, so we have to go for this. Reveal a dragon card. Auto pay. Yeah, Snakeskin Veil would be bad, but we can still block with an Innkeeper at least. Yeah, they did have a Snakeskin Veil. Go figure. Now we can kind of block twice until we can hit something good. Opponent goes Masked Vandal, takes out the treasure. Well, take out the treasure token is kind of fine here. So we got another Magda. But we're probably better off just playing Imrit. This is technically a 6/6 already, so we're not blocking with that. Also, no point in firing this off here. We need to kind of draw cards at this rate. Werewolf Pack Leader. Yeah, our opponent's just going all out here. Yeah, this one's gonna be a problem though. We would need another Battle of Frost and Fire, but we're not gonna get it. I have fun. No, yeah, I already set to attack. Okay, and this is not going to... Well, we can kind of... We can kind of delay this one a bit, but we'll see if it pans out or not. Okay, we're not going to be able to fight. We could fight with something at least. We'll see. Opponent's going to draw a card off this as well. 2, 4, 6. Opponent can swap that out in response. Oh no, it has a 16 win. Okay, we can concede this one. And there we go. So we didn't end this one well, but we did have a good run with this one. That's going to be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And I probably will also just include the blue-red list here as well. Yeah, it's a little bit less flashy, but I think it might be a lot more consistent. So yeah, you know what? I think I will include that list. That one might have panned out better. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.